Hey, church family, as we step into a new year together, I want us to take a moment to reflect back on all that God has done in and through His church in 2025 here at Statesboro Worship. We're going to look back because I think that gratitude fuels vision. And as we step into a new year together, I want us to be able to be confident and expectant of what God is going to do in and through us in this new year. God has great things in store for our church, and I want us to be reminded of all the great things He's already done. Now, today is not an exhaustive list of those things, but it's an opportunity to highlight how God is moving and working within His church in hopes that all of us will continue to make an effort to be a part of what God is doing here at His church. As we kick off our review of 2025, I want us to focus in on our serve teams. Ministry takes place here because first of God's faithfulness and provision, but second because of faithful men and women saying yes to being a part of the work that God is doing in and through His church by serving and being the hands and feet of Jesus. And so we're going to go through our serve teams and some of the things they've been up to this past year. And as we do, I hope you'll stop and think, how can I be a part of a serve team this next year and be a part of what God is doing at His church at Statesboro Worship? Our facility team has spent countless hours overseeing projects to help us take care of what God has entrusted to us. Some of the projects that the facility team has overseen this year is the building of a retaining wall on the east side of our campus with a guardrail. Also, 4 windows being replaced behind our stage area and the frames around them, improved lighting in our parking lot, a new entrance being built with columns, also lighting being added to the new signs at both entrances. Beyond the big visible projects that many of us have noticed, they have also put into place regular maintenance routines to make sure that our building is being taken care of in a way that will honor and glorify God. They're also the ones that are often coming up here when things are broken or things that need attention, and they're overseeing making sure that those things get fixed and we're able to maintain ministry that needs to happen day to day here at the church. Our major life event care team has provided 38 meals this past year. This is anything from a bereavement meal to taking a meal to a family that's welcomed a baby, or maybe they've had time in the hospital or going through an intense surgery. It's a great way for this team to be the hands and feet of Christ, bringing a meal and showing love and care from our church family. Our Serving Hearts senior care team provides intentional love and care for those in our congregation that are 75 and older. This past year, they hosted 4 luncheons, with each of those luncheons having an average of 50 or more people in attendance. Those luncheons are an opportunity for fellowship and connection, as well as entertainment and learning. I know that everyone that's been in attendance has enjoyed these times to be together. Outside of those opportunities, they have provided 313 visits to those that might be shut in or at an assisted living or nursing home situation to make sure that those in our church family that aren't able to join us on Sunday morning know that they are still a loved and valued part of our church. Our prayer team continues to faithfully pray over the concerns not only from our church family, but those that are shared within the community. We have 23 prayer warriors that are currently serving on this team, and they not only pray for the concerns that are shared, but they walk alongside those that share these concerns to follow up, to see how we can be specifically praying for these concerns, celebrating what God is doing, and also comforting those that need comfort. As an extension of this team, they have written 168 cards of encouragement, whether it be an encouragement that we're celebrating a new birth in someone's life or extending sympathy and care when someone has lost a loved one. We are grateful for each of the members on this team, as well as those that are taking it upon themselves to write these cards of encouragement, because it reminds people that they are not alone, that God is with them, and that we as a church are standing beside them. Stitching with God's Love has served with creativity and purpose as they have completed the first set of boy shorts and matching shirts that will be delivered to Trinidad for children that need those. As well as that, they've continued to work on additional dresses with matching shirts that will be provided for children here in the near future. They also had a business in town that had some merchandise that was imperfected, and they donated it to this team. This team was able to correct what was wrong with the material, and now they're going to be able to use those items and give those to older boys and men that are in Trinidad. And so they've been faithfully providing for these needs globally, and we are thankful for that. As well as that, here locally in the church, they have been in the process of making chair covers for our chair racks. So this allows us to have more room in our storage closet because we can store our chairs out in the open. As well as that, it helps our chairs be taken care of better. And so they've made 4 of those, and they're going to continue to make those here this year. We are thankful for all that they're doing to serve globally and here locally. Our decorating team has been hard at work to make sure that our church remains a place that is inviting and hospitable. They have made major improvements to our foyer and other areas in our church to do just that. As well as that, they decorate for our special events and the seasons that we experience throughout the church. And I don't know about you, but I thought our church was absolutely beautiful this Christmas season. And so I'm grateful for the work that they invest to make sure that we remain an inviting and hospitable environment. Our setup team has faithfully made sure that we can have church service every Sunday, as well as that be prepared for special events. When you've been at the church, if you have sat in a chair, it has been most likely because the setup team has been here way before anyone else, making sure that there is a place prepared for you, and we are grateful that they do that. Our refreshments team, one of the special things about our church is the family-like atmosphere and the joy that is felt when you walk in each and every Sunday. I think some of that is attributed to the fact that our refreshment team works so hard to provide refreshments that we can enjoy as we fellowship with one another before the service. This is a part that many of us enjoy partaking in, and I'm grateful for the many volunteers that help make that possible each and every Sunday. Our Special Sundays team has hosted 4 church-wide luncheons this year, which has provided a great time of fellowship and opportunity for us to connect with one another. They also have helped provided meals and other necessary logistics when we've had special events, and we are grateful for their hard work so that we can continue to grow in relationship with one another. There are many other areas of service within our church that I didn't highlight, and some that we're going to talk about in a minute, but I want to say thank you. Thank you to those of you that have been serving in whatever capacity, whether it was mentioned or not mentioned. Know that you make a difference because you are choosing to be the hands and feet of Christ for His glory. I'm excited to see how God will continue to use you and our church at large to impact His kingdom and bring more people to know about His unfailing love. If you haven't found a place to serve, I want to encourage you to make that a priority this new year. It doesn't matter if you've never served before or if you think that you may not be able to. Each and every one of us have the ability to serve. And so if you're looking for a place to serve, I want to encourage you to reach out to Jill Vickery or to reach out to myself, and we will share with you the opportunities for you to get plugged in this new year. Our kids' ministry is full of excitement for Jesus. If you haven't been up here on a Wednesday night, you may not know, but we have been having around 90 kids each week on Wednesday night coming to learn more about Jesus through small group and through games and time of fellowship. It has been incredible to see our kids' ministry continue to grow to this capacity. And I know that God is going to do incredibly more than we can think or imagine as we step into this new year. Some of the highlights from this past year within this ministry is that our Vacation Bible School grew this year. We had over 90 children in attendance and many volunteers that helped make that week possible. We also took our first summer camp trip where we took over 20 children to Bruton Parker College to participate in Centra Kid, a 3-day summer camp where kids were challenged and encouraged in their faith. Then moving on to the fall, we had our first ever fall retreat for children in 2nd through 5th grade. It was a time for them to be renewed in their faith, encouraged in their faith, and continue to develop faith-centered friendships. It's been incredible to see God work through Vacation Bible School and these times of retreats when children are able to get out of their regular routine and truly hear from God and experience Him in a new way. Besides our Wednesday night activities and these retreats that I've mentioned, they have many fun activities throughout the year. Our summer was jam-packed full of opportunities for children to come together, invite friends to be a part of what God is doing here at Statesboro Worship. I want to give a huge thank you to the countless volunteers that help provide an incredible kids ministry. On Sunday morning, we have volunteers that help provide our kids worship time. It's a time when our children go out and they have a age-appropriate Bible lesson designed just for them. As well as that, they have a time of worship and a time of a hand-on activity to reinforce what they're learning on Sunday morning, as well as an opportunity to interact through games. It's wonderful. I can speak for myself that my children are excited to be at church on Sunday morning because they can't wait to get to kids' church. And so I hope that each and every volunteer that has invested in this ministry know that we are so grateful for you. And then we have an amazing team of Wednesday night volunteers that are serving as our children small group leaders. They are the ones that are investing time each and every week to pour into a lesson, to share with our children, to make sure that their faith has an opportunity to grow, not only in experience, but also in knowledge of understanding who God is and who God has called them to be. This past year, our children walked through the Gospels in their time on Wednesday nights, and we're excited as we move into this new year, they're going to be focusing on God's promises and seeing how that God is who He says that He is and that He is faithful and can be trusted. I invite you, if you have a child and they're not involved, to get them up here on Wednesday nights or Sunday mornings, or invite a neighbor or a coworker for their children or their family to be involved. God is on the move in our kids' ministry. I'm grateful for Jody Hendricks and her leadership in this ministry and the countless ways that she pours into the children and the families of our church, and I hope that you will join me in continuing to pray and support that ministry. We've had an incredible time in our student ministry this past year as well. They went on their annual ski trip back in February. They took over 40 students and then had additional chaperones go. It was a great time for them to get away and to grow in their faith, and many of them learned how to ski for the first time, which is pretty fun. Besides that, they had summer camp in June at Snowbird Wilderness Outfitters, and they took 40 to that camp as well. It was an intentional time for them to grow in their faith again. One of my favorite parts about that trip is on the last night, we gather all the students together, and they have an opportunity to share if they choose to. They can share about what God has done in their life that week, what He's taught them, what He's shown them, how He's challenged them. And it is incredible to witness that most of the students will stand up in front of their peers, in front of the adults, and they will give a personal testimony on the spot of what God has done in and through them. It is powerful and it is life-changing and exciting to witness that kind of testimony. And so we are grateful for the opportunity for our students to be a part of that camp. And then this fall, they had a one-day fall retreat where they were again encouraged in their faith. These trips and opportunities for our students to get away from their regular routine are pivotal in their faith. Outside of our trips that we take in student ministry, we also gather every Wednesday night for small groups. It's an opportunity for students in 6th through 12th grade to gather for a time of Bible study, games, and fellowship. And this past year, we've had over 60 students consistently coming, and we are thankful for that. It's incredible to see students gather together to not only study God's Word, but to hold each other accountable as they pursue their faith together. I'm thankful for the volunteers that commit their Wednesday night week after week to pour into the lives of these students, encouraging them, loving them, and pushing them further in their faith. We could not do Wednesday nights without them. Beyond Wednesday nights, our students have opportunities throughout the year to plug in through fun activities and opportunities of fellowship. A new thing that they started this year is once a quarter, they've been hosting worship nights. It happens on a Wednesday night, and instead of our normal small groups, they have a sermon, a time of worship, and then they break into small groups to discuss what they just learned. Our students loved this new opportunity to be able to gather together in worship, and I'm excited to see how God continues to grow that opportunity in this new year. I'm also thankful for the incredible leadership that we have through Clay Berner in our student ministry, as well as Kendall serving as our intern. They both do a great job in taking care of the families within our church, and we are grateful to have them. As you listen to what God is doing in the kids ministry and the student ministry here at Statesboro Worship, I hope that you recognize that we value as a church this next generation, and that we are doing all that we can to pour into them so that they would continue to take deeper steps of faith, moving closer to Jesus. Our men's ministry has continued to enjoy their fellowship suppers that they have on specific Sunday nights throughout the year, as well as the barbecue fundraiser that they had in May. They are looking forward to new fellowship suppers this coming year, and so be on the lookout for more information about those. As well as that, they've had a men's Bible study that happens on Sunday mornings before worship at 8 a.m. In the back classroom on the back porch. If you are not a part of that Bible study and you are a man within the church, they would love to invite you out to be a part of it. You can join any Sunday, 8 a.m., and they will be glad to welcome you then. Our women's ministry just went through the book of James this past semester on Tuesdays. They had 2 Bible studies, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and I know that they enjoyed that time together, and we are looking forward to the new year and new opportunities for women to be involved in Bible study and fellowship with one another. Our church has a heart for missions, and that is seen in many ways throughout the church. But one way I think it's seen is in the fact that we're a tithing church, meaning that 10% of any contribution that is not earmarked for a specific purpose is set aside to pour back into missions here locally and abroad. We are currently supporting 2 mission opportunities on a monthly basis. The first being a couple here from Statesboro that will be on mission to serve unreached people groups in Central Asia. This couple left the United States in August of 2025, and they headed to Europe for a 9-month extensive training in discipleship and important things they would need to learn for where they will be serving long term. In April of 2026, this couple will then move to the country that they will be in long term to serve that people group. They are going to be serving people, an unreached people group, which means they have not heard of Jesus Christ and the good news of the gospel. This is an incredibly important mission, and I am thankful that our church recognizes that all people should know about the good news of Jesus Christ. The second mission that we support on a monthly basis is Open Hearts Community Mission, which is located here in Statesboro. They serve the residents of Bullitt County and some surrounding areas. They share the good news of Jesus Christ with them and help those that are in need get back to a place where they can thrive in their personal life. And we are thankful to have the opportunity to support them as well. Outside of the monthly contributions, we have also made one-time gifts to many ministries and ministry partners that are directly involved with our church. We supported a student missionary from our church who served with Cafe 1040 this summer. We supported another student missionary from our church who served in Uruguay this summer. We supported Miss Ellis Camp for Special People, Young Life, Campus Crusade for Christ, a ministry partner in Nepal, Delight in the Lord Ministries, Dominican Republic Mission Trip, The Button, which provides hygiene items for children and students within our community, Acts, which provides help for those that are in need within our community, Gideon's International, Foundation Resource Center, Stitching with God's Love, and Choices of the Heart. Outside of these financial contributions, our church has been hands-on with mission opportunities. We've seen this in our blood drives. We held 6 blood drives and collected 250 units of blood. We also had our first day of service this past year, where we came together as a church family and we served in the community and here at the church. And then we came together collectively for a meal and a time of fellowship through the study of God's word and worship with one another. Missions is an important part of our church, and I'm excited to see how God will continue to grow us in this area as we step into 2026. As we wrap up this video, you may be wondering, what is the update for our pastor identification team as well as our future building campaign? And I want to invite you out to our annual membership meeting that's happening directly following our church service this Sunday, January 11th. At that meeting, we will report information on both of those topics as well as the financials of the church. This is an important meeting, and I hope that you will make time to be present so that you can stay informed. As we looked back on this past year, I am grateful. I am grateful for God's faithfulness and the way that He continues to lead and provide for us. And I am grateful for you to be a part of a church family alongside of you, that we get to worship and grow in our faith with one another. The prayer that God has impressed on my heart over and over again for our church comes from Ephesians chapter 3, where Paul prays for the church at Ephesus. And specifically at the end of that prayer, in verse 20 through 21, he reminds the church that God is able to do immeasurably more than we can think or imagine because of His Spirit that is at work within us. Church, I believe that to be true, that God will do incredibly more than we can think or imagine as we step into this new year. We are called to be obedient and faithful as we continue to follow Him as He leads us, because this is His church and we are His people. And I am grateful that we get to follow along on all that He has in store for us. I can't wait to see you guys Sunday as we continue to worship together. Hope to see you at the meeting.